one tree can not only provide for itself, but it also, by the nature of what a tree does, is also providing a lot of nutrients and minerals for other varieties of species. And so in order to even address some of the problems of climate change, we really need to kind of like look to natural systems that produce zero amount of waste and how they're operating and how they're efficient and what their relationships are.
So in terms of thinking about climate resiliency, what that means is being able to have societies and communities respond to the pressures of climate change and then return to functioning as normal.
If you provide the structure of how you're going to reduce emissions, it's not hard to get people interested in cooperating with that.
And because one of our missions is to build community, we're looking at like where are people spending time in outdoor spaces, and just like recognizing the intrinsic value of people connecting with land. The planting project is kind of like multifaceted, bringing together to community, and then like just raising awareness about how is this region going to be impacted by climate change.
Basically, plants are using solar energy to set off a series of reactions that take carbon from carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and turn them into basic sugars. That is taking solar energy and storing it in biochemical form to be used later.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to take this carbon out of the sky, or we're going to store it here, and we're going to decide when we want to use it later. In forest ecosystems, when soil is deep and there's lots of root structure, what happens is the soil is able to store a lot more water. That's important because when you have these big intense rainstorms and all of that water moves into a waterway, it brings all the nutrients with it very quickly, so you get a big pulse. And if you're dealing with stormwater runoff, if you have areas that have natural vegetation around, you don't have them damaging infrastructure or flooding roads, and it just kind of mitigates some of the impact. Trees serve as different surfaces for particulate matter to land on, and then they are washed down whenever there's a rainstorm. So think of them as kind of like an air filter.
The Dartmouth Atom Club would be really interested in joining. Students come with a lot of energy and a lot of passion for this issue, because I think that a lot of young people really do believe that climate change is a serious issue and do believe that the onus is on us and our generation to really tackle this problem. Yeah, young people care, at least what I've seen, and want to help.
So we're really looking to engage people that really want to have the consciousness of like, how are we designing our outdoor spaces in a conscious manner, to not only be like productive, but also like beautiful and aesthetic, and like really encourage outdoor time, really. But I do think that it's bringing people together and building community connections, which builds resiliency. It's also educating people about what we can grow in this region. We can make those correlations between ecosystems and communities. We're building resilience because we're increasing relationships. And every time we plant a tree, we do a workshop and we bring together different community members to educate people about like the logistics of how to plant a tree, and also like why it's important to have these skills. Policies around replanting and forestation, in forested areas that have been clear cut, I think is really crucial as well.